Okay, well, let me play this in the background, I guess, to start. It's like this. I understand why the fight is happening. It's Miguel Cotto's last fight. A lot of people are saying that, he wanted an easy touch before he goes out. But if you really look at the situation where Golden Boy, his promoter, right, offered Danny Garcia the fight. We know that. Mikey Garcia wanted the fight. So Golden Boy entertained it. You know, Errol Spence was offered the fight. Now, in my personal opinion, Errol Spence would have beaten, in my opinion. I don't know. See, here's the thing. You can't doubt Miguel Cotto's skills because if you notice over the years, he's become a better boxer. I'm talking about like better skilled, boxer. It's just that his power has been somewhat questionable ever since he first set foot to 154. You know? So that's been a real big issue where a lot of people are saying, well, he's a 147-pound fighter fighting at 154 and 160. He just can't hold his own. But understand that if it would have been Danny Garcia, if it would have been Mikey Garcia, if it would have been Errol Spence, it would have likely been on pay-per-view. Miguel Cotto's last fight going on pay-per-view. But Golden Boy's getting a lot of heat because people are like, well, why couldn't Mikey Garcia just fight him without signing with Golden Boy? Why couldn't Errol Spence get the fight without just signing with Golden Boy? In my personal opinion, how can you be mad at Golden Boy for, coming in and likely could possibly beat one of their fighters with them having no... Isn't a promoter's job to try to sign up boxers? Now, I feel that Errol Spence did make the right decision because the 147-pound fighters belong to Heyman, So, when it comes to Danny Jacobs signing with Matchroom and HBO, I feel he made the right decision because the 160-pounders are on HBO, and the big money fight at 160 is Canelo, and that's on HBO. So depending on what promoter you're with or what network you're with dictates, in my opinion, what fighters should take into account when signing with a promoter. Wait a minute, so if I sign with them, can I get this fight? Or what's their relationship like? Do they make fights? Or what if one of the fights, big money fights I want to fight, is over on that network? So in the meantime, let's go do this real quick. In the meantime, let's go listen to Sadam Ali and see what he has to say, and then go from there. TstreeT Controversy.
How you doing, everybody? First and foremost, I want to thank God for bringing us all here. Thank God for this opportunity. I want to thank Golden Boy. I want to thank HBO, Madison Square Garden, and of course the Cotto team, also Team Ali team, and it's a pleasure. It's gonna be. I know I'm the underdog, and I know a lot of the media are throwing bad words on me, but if you work hard, you put your mind to it, and you come at your best, you never know what's gonna come. And like my coach was saying, it's not about the money. It's about the opportunity. It's about being the star. And I know if I want to win, I have to come 100%. I have.
Oh, why did I cut off? What did I do? I did something wrong. I forgot. Well, anyway, let's go take a look at his resume for those who don't know who he is. I got a chance to talk to him. I think it was at the Klitschko. I think it was at the Klitschko. I don't know where it was. I was at this fight. Let me pull this up to the screen for you. Let me do it this way. I forgot I can do this now. There we go. He's 25-1 with 14 KOs. He's fighting Miguel Cotto December the 2nd, 2017 in Madison Square Garden. It's likely going to be in the big room in Madison Square Garden. I was surprised to find out that there's a lot of boxing fans that don't know that there's two arenas in Madison Square Garden, one of which is called the Theater, which seats about at a boxing event. What did he seat? I think they're like, 8,000. Let's just say 5 to 8,000. I believe it's 8,000. Now, guys like Golovkin and Terrence Crawford worked their way up from the small room to Madison Square Garden to fight in the big room. So I'm pretty sure this fight is going to be in the big room. And in my personal opinion, this fight should sell out. It's Miguel Cotto, especially for the Puerto Rican fans and us in our generation that's been watching him, over these years. Like, we've been watching Miguel Cotto for a long-ass time. I'm talking about from when I was, in college and shit, early college, fucking high school. So, and I'm 34 now, so dude deserves his respect as far as, if this is his last fight, and I'm kind of pissed at myself because I couldn't go yesterday because I had a big meeting here at the house. But, it's a Miguel Cotto press conference. But even if I don't go to the fight, I'm definitely going to go to the press conference. The only issue I'm having is um, you have this fight, and then you have the Rigondeaux fight next week. I don't like going to fights 2 weeks in a row, but whatever. We're gonna Hey, listen, let's just stop. Let's just stay on task. He's fought Johan Perez. I remember Johan Perez because he fought Mauricio Herrera in Mauricio Herrera's first fight back from fighting Danny Garcia, if I'm correct, right? Let me see. He fought Danny Garcia. Yep. And he also fought Yoshihiro Kamagai, if I'm correct, right? I've seen his fights before. So I consider that. Did he fight Yoshihiro? Yeah. So I consider that to be like, okay, that's a nice little, fight, for you. Where we at? Where we at? Who we on? Oh, go back to him. And this was in like his comeback, fights after losing to Jesse Vargas. So what I liked is he didn't have a long layoff. After being, this was a devastating loss for him from being knocked out in the ninth round or stopped. And then he went on to fight, this guy. I kind of know who he is. I forgot, but a lot of these guys, you see these guys fight, especially if you watch all the boxing, like those Fox Sports 1's cards when Golden Boy Fighters used to be on there, and those ESPN cards and all you see these guys fight. You may not know them by name, but you're like, oh, y'all seen that dude before. So this was a nice comeback. Now last year he got knocked out, but then guess what? A year and some change later, almost 2 years later, what is that about? You know, um, 18 months or something. He's in a title shot at a different division though. But Miguel Cotto is considered somewhat of the smaller end of a 154-pound fighter. When it comes to certain weight classes, let me just do this real quick. When it comes to certain weight classes, right? I feel that there's the two spectrums. For example, I consider Errol Spence to be a bigger 147-pound fighter compared to a Danny Garcia. He's more on the smaller end of a 147-pound fighter. And Floyd Mayweather is the perfect example. He's a 147-pound fighter, but he's a small 154-pound fighter. So in regards to the power, Jesse Vargas being a former 140-pound fighter, and he got stopped by him, should Miguel Cotto have the power to stop him? Now, Miguel Cotto's last fight against Yoshihiro Kamagai, which was a good-ass fight, by the way, he whooped Yoshihiro Kamagai ass. But that fight was overshadowed by Mayweather versus McGregor on pay-per-view. Miguel Cotto put on a masterful performance, but he couldn't stop him out. He couldn't stop him, So, we're in a situation right now where Sadam Ali, he's getting this big chance. And if he wins, not only will he win, obviously, the 154-pound WBO title, but he'll win a lot of fans in his home of New York. And also, he'll be able to end the career of Miguel Cotto and, of course, then be signed by HBO, to something long-term. And they can start really working on fights like big fights. Like maybe if he's going to be at 154, who knows? Like a Kell Brook or some other 154-pounders outside of guys like Heyman guys, unfortunately, especially since Heyman guys don't really fight for their title. But a lot of those Heyman guys like Iris Landy Lara, Jamel Charlo, WBC champion, and even Hurd, they knew they wasn't getting Cotto, They already knew. But you do have Liam Smith versus Liam Williams. Liam Smith, he fought Saul Canelo Alvarez in Dallas. The winner of that is going to be the WBO #1 contender. So there's a good path out there for Sadam Ali. And like I said, looking at Miguel Cotto and what he's done, the biggest reason for that layoff, between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Yoshihiro Kamagai, which was almost 2 years, was because of the Rock Nation contract that he had. Now, he had a very big Rock Nation contract where wasn't he supposed to make in his next fight around $15 million or so? And then they brought him out. But for Miguel Cotto to make $15 million, it couldn't be on regular HBO. It had to be on pay-per-view to generate that type of money, So his opponent had to be somebody big enough for them to generate that money on pay-per-view. They tried to do James Kirkland. Tickets wasn't going well at all, we were hearing. And then some old bizarre shit happened to James Kirkland, and we haven't seen him since. And looking at his campaign at 160, he beat a Sergio Martinez. Now, let's keep it 100. Sergio Martinez's knee was done, But still, he got the win. But this is not a Sergio Martinez we saw pre-Chavez Jr., Delvin Rodriguez, this was his comeback fight after losing to Austin Trout in the upset. And Austin Trout himself, even though Austin Trout this last weekend lost to Jarrett Swift Hurd, he was surprised that Miguel Cotto didn't call him up or there was no attempt to get a Austin Trout rematch. I think that would have been a good way for Miguel Cotto to go out, right? to fight Austin Trout, in a rematch. And then, of course, he got that Antonio Margarito vindication. This was before. So if you're looking at his resume, like I said, look how long he's been around. I've been watching him, and this was in, because remember, he used to fight, what was that, on ESPN, right? Not these fights. I forgot which ones. Was that Top TV? What was that called? It's been so many goddamn years. Like, the guy deserves his respect. And then when you look at guys like, Lovemore Inja, right? Randall Bailey, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, Paulie, Carlos Quintana, Zab Judah, Shane Mosley. Even Alfonso Gomez was somewhat here back then. And, of course, Antonio Margarito, the plaster in Paris cheating son of a bitch. Joshua Clottey, Manny Pacquiao. At this time, this Yuri Foreman fight was a big fight. Ricardo Mayorga, that was a big fight. Big fight. Dude has been really, making some moves out there. But as I said, he has been involved in some questionable activities. We're not gonna lie, We're not gonna lie, and it hasn't been, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's hear what Freddie has to say though. I haven't seen this yet. It's only 41 seconds.
Thank you. I look forward to this training camp with Miguel. It's supposed to be our last one. But I will miss it. I'll miss training camp with him, and I'm kind of happy that he's deciding when he's going to retire, and not us or a commission or somebody else. He's decided that he's been in boxing enough, and he wants to be closer to his family, and I respect that. And I wish him and his family the best, and they'll enjoy life. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he really had much to say. Cotto usually don't have much to say either. Let's see if they get him up there. Where's he at?
Where's Hector?
I'm not going to go through all these. I'm going to go through all these. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the fight because I know who both of the fighters are, and I know the storyline behind the fight. Tickets are on sale. Like I said, there should be no reason why it shouldn't sell out, especially with Sadam Ali being from, the New York area. So, I would have wanted a better opponent. Of course, they were talking about the winner of Canelo versus Golovkin. That wasn't going to happen. They were talking about David Lemieux. I knew they didn't want no David Lemieux. David Lemieux is fighting Billy Joe Saunders, by the way. That is official. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.